Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I am going to teach you guys the different matchups that you will be facing as a mid laner. We will be talking about the different types of mid laners, the best hero in each type of mid laners. We'll also be talking about the different matchups that you will be facing and when to pick which hero to counter which hero or which team composition. So all these things will be covered in this video. So if you guys find this video helpful, make sure to support me by hitting the like button, and if you're new here, check out my other videos as well. If you find the content helpful, consider subscribing. And with all that said, let us get right into the video. So first let us talk about the different things that are expected from a mid laner. So magic damage, crowd control, area of effect damage, minion clear, constant rotation, and peel for the marksman. So peel for the marksman is something that you do in the late game, and constant rotation is something you do throughout the early game and mid game, and then the others are pretty straightforward. So whenever you pick a mid laner, you have to keep in mind that you need a hero that can excel at most of these points. It doesn't necessarily have to be good at every single one, but most of them. Okay, for example, if you look at Mai Shiranui, she is someone who does not have the ability to clear waves very quick, but she excels in all the other points. So she makes up for the lack of wave clear ability. So this is how you pick your mid laner, and this is what is expected of any mid laner. So what are all the different types of mid laners that we have in the game? We have long ranged poke burst mages, close ranged dive assassins, supportive mages with a lot of crowd control and healing abilities, and consistent damage dealing mages. Now let us classify which mages come into which category. Now these three mages are the prime example of long-ranged bursters because they attack from so far away and they instantly deal a lot of damage. So that is why you call them poke mages, and they are also called as bursters. Now these five mages are the example of short-ranged divers. Even though they have abilities that can be used from far away, their major damage output comes in the form of melee abilities or very short-ranged abilities. That is why these heroes are short-ranged diving mages. Now these heroes are the supportive mages because of their ability to crowd control and sometimes even heal your teammates. They are capable of dealing a lot of damage themselves, but the main reason why a team will pick these mages is because of their ability to crowd control or sometimes even to heal your teammates. Now these mages are consistent damage dealers. They don't immediately deal a lot of damage, but over the course of the team fight, their damage output will grow more and more. Now Dr. Bian and Dio-chan have already been mentioned in other categories like diving and healing, but I just wanted to mention them here as well because they are consistent damage dealers and you can't expect them to immediately deal a lot of damage to the enemy. Now to the very important question. How do you counter pick mages? Instead of counter picking to fight and win in 1v1, mages are picked in order to counter the entire enemy team. Unlike Clash Lane, where we were talking about a certain build of warriors will counter another build of warriors, mages are built to counter the entire enemy team. So, if the enemy team is very tanky, we go for mages that can deal huge area damage, and if the enemy team is very squishy, we go for heroes that are good at one-shotting or dealing insanely large amounts of poke damage. So that is how you counter pick mages. Now let me give you guys some examples of a tankier lineup. So let us say the enemy support is Zhang Fei, the enemy jungler is Kaiser with a tanky jungle build, and the enemy clash laner is Arthur. We don't need to talk about the marksman and the mage, just these three. In this situation, the best mages are going to be the consistent damage dealing mages because your bursters will not be able to deal any damage to the three tanks that the enemy team has. So instead of going for an assassin diving mage or a long ranged poking mage, you are better off going for a consistent damage dealer such as Dio-chan or Zhou in this situation. Now let me give you another situation where the enemy has a squishy lineup and what mages to pick to counter that. So let us say the enemy support is Dolia, the enemy jungler is Levi or Nakaruru, and the enemy clash laner is Sanchi with a full attack build. So what do you pick against this composition? You go for heroes that have lot of burst damage, whether it be long ranged or close ranged. Now mages are not only picked to counter the enemy team but also to better support your own team. Let me explain. So there are different strategies in the game, and one of the more important ones is tower diving strategy, where the whole team is picked to jump into a tower and destroy it. We call it the dive composition. So when you pick a mage that is going to be good in dive composition, you are looking at mages that can go into the tower fearlessly and kill enemies. So that is when heroes like Mai Shiranui, Dio-chan, Sima are going to shine. So a dive composition looks like this. Your support will be Zhang Fei or Liu Shan, who can both go under the tower. Your marksman will be Marco Polo, your clash laner will be Sanchi, and your jungler will be Zilong or Nakoruru. So your entire team is built to jump into the tower and kill the enemies inside. So in such a situation, your mage pick is going to be based off of your team rather than the enemy team. So you don't pick to counter, you pick to support. Thus you can see that a mid lane matchup is 50-50. Most of the time you pick to support your own team, and there are also times when you pick to counter the enemy team. So it's not very simple. It's not like this hero counters this hero, but if you still want to have a better winning chance against most of the mages, I would recommend you to play Xiao Xiao, because she has the perfect set of abilities to one shot an enemy hero who is a squishy, basically a marksman mage or assassin. So you will be able to win against most of the enemy mages in most of the situations. But like I said, the mid lane matchup is not going to be hero versus hero, but it's going to be team versus hero. So you pick a hero to counter a certain composition, or you pick a hero to support your own composition. So that is the mid lane matchup for you guys. Now this video took a lot more time for me to make because of all the images that I had to add just to make it better for you guys to understand. So I would really appreciate it if you can support me by hitting the like, and if you're new here and if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to the channel and check out my other videos as well. Now that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you all found this video entertaining and helpful, and if you did, make sure to support me by hitting the like and subscribe button. I hope you all have a really great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.